What's going on, people? Hope you're all well. Orbit Culture are back. New song, Hydra. I am so beyond excited to check this out. They are quickly becoming one of my favorite bands to listen to and to just do reactions to, because their music is just... It connects me with my ancestors. Like, it just does something to me. It goes deep into my family tree. Like, we're talking thousands of years ago, back to when, like, Drew... senior, and then some would have been like roaming around a cave with a fucking rag covering his flute and just animal skin on top of him. I feel like if I was to be transported back to like 2000 BC and I met a Neanderthal, a caveman, and I was given all of my current resources, like I have my phone, I have technology, I feel like genuinely a good starting point would just be, look, let's find some common ground. Open Spotify, Orbit Culture, The Tales of War. Just put that on and we would just be able to instantly connect. That man, that caveman, that Neanderthal from 2000 fucking BC, or I don't even know if that makes sense, 2000 BC, whatever. Caveman times, Neanderthal era. We'd connect, man. Like, we would genuinely connect. I feel like either he would kind of rise to my level of intelligence, not to say that I'm that intelligent, but obviously in comparison to a man in cave with rag on penis, or like I would just devolve to his level. Either way, we would find a common ground, and Orbit Culture would be that glue that would just hold us together. So I'm very excited about this. New song, Hydra. Let's listen, and then we can just yap so much about this, because I'm very excited about this band. I'm very, very excited about Orbit Culture. They are like blending this new sound with obviously Buster Oldholm helping out with the mix and everything, which just makes them sound humongous. And then they're also like an older head band. They sound quite old with like some of their thrashier moments and like just the intensity that they're playing at. And then some of their chorus is very like anthemic. Oh my goodness, when you smash those together, it's heavy shit. So let's go. Oh, it's Ravada visuals again. Guessing. I just know Ravada visuals when I see one. Also, it looks like we might get some... Oh, this is like Vikings. This is the ugly guy that you go to for advice. Oh, that's a scary sound. That's fucking terrifying. Oh, it's so heavy. There's the Metallica vibes. That old school flair. What? It's so heavy! My hair! What a setting for a video, by the way. Fuck! Fast beats. This is huge! Oh, it's not over. Oh my god. Alright. The tremolo. Oh yeah, that's Buster. That's Buster right there. So fucking sick, man. I don't think there's ever been an Orbiculture video that I haven't come out of it. Like, my hair absolutely fucking all over the place. Sweating. And just slightly devolved. Yeah, I need to hear this one again. Alright, I have a lot to talk about. So, what better way to do it than to just kind of go through the video again and talk about things that come to my mind and some pre-written points that I have. But let's start, before we get into listening to this again and going through it like section by section, let's talk about the sentiment that I've been seeing a lot recently about Orbiculture being the next big thing in metal music. Or I guess maybe modern metal, but I think metal music has been a big thing that people have been saying that this band is next up, they're the next big thing. I understand the sentiment. I would say that they're kind of currently the thing. I wouldn't say they're kind of like the next big thing, because I don't think they do anything that is necessarily like musically on the cutting edge. You know, the likes of Sleep Token have that ability to really step out of the metal space and like jump into other genres and like drag people in. Now, Orbiculture, what they're doing is fantastic, but it just doesn't have that same appeal to go outside of the metal space. Now, in saying that, I have done videos for these guys. Well, not for these guys, I've done them for myself, but you know, it's their content, I guess, that I'm reacting to. So I've made some videos and they've gone mega viral. So like, it is being seen by a lot of people that maybe wouldn't have necessarily been into metal, just because of how undeniably groovy and heavy some of their stuff is. So people who are just like scrolling on TikTok that have no interest in metal are seeing this shit and it's grabbing their attention. I've seen it all throughout my comments. I did a TikTok for them and it has over like 1 million views at this point. And people who aren't into metal music, I've seen the comments, there's fucking hundreds of them are like, holy shit, I need to get into metal and that kind of thing. So they definitely do have that appeal to a certain degree. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, generally speaking, they're not doing anything that's like completely pushing the envelope in terms of like genre bending and, you know, really redefining what is metal. However, I think it's pretty fair to say that, like, just from a viewership standpoint, these guys are pulling in, like, the Tales of War has 1 million views in 2 months on YouTube. There's not many bands that are this heavy that are doing those kind of numbers. So I think the sentiment that these guys are like the future, I think we're kind of in that future. These guys are the band at the moment, the like modern heavy band. Obviously there is bands that are heavy as well, but I think just having Buster Odahome involved in the mix and like his overall sound, he's been kind of like the guy if you want like the underground heavy mix in the scene. He's been the guy for the last couple of years with his like Thal influences, like with Humanity's Last Breath, Viljarta, Alt, Atlas now. He's been with Atlas for a while, but like all of these other really sick, respected bands in the scene that Buster's been working with. And now Orbiculture are kind of taking that sound as well and giving it like an old school flair as well. So I guess maybe that's why people are connecting with this band and saying that they're going to be the futures, because they're kind of like combining the old school flair, like that Metallica sound, that like arena rock sound, with this ridiculously low-tuned, crunchy sound that Buster is able to get across the line for them as well. Also, speaking of Buster, what I'm loving so much about Orbiculture is that, yes, some of their songs are a little bit repetitive, like it's following the same kind of groove patterns, but sometimes that's all I really care for. With Humanity's Last Breath, these really remind me of Humanity's Last Breath, especially in the last track with some of the like tremolo picking riffs as well. But when they get into their groovier sections, it reminds me a lot of HLB. Obviously, it is Buster doing the drums and stuff, so it does have that like really, really like HLB feel because of how fucking ridiculously it's mixed, and how it's just so crunchy and impactful everything is when it hits. So it does have that feel, but like there is groovy moments in Humanity's Last Breath, which are usually my favorite parts of their music, where it's just so undeniably like it's caveman mode, it's monkey mode, like you've seen from me. And these guys seem to just like kind of incorporate that Humanity's Last Breath sound without the Thal stuff. So it's like they're taking the really, really groovy parts of Humanity's Last Breath, and then they're kind of incorporating that into their like old school sound as well, and then adding some big like arena rock style choruses and shit. And it's just such a fun blend for me to listen to. So much we can go into. Let's listen to this again. So yeah, it kind of feels like if Humanity's Last Breath weren't a Thal band. And also the solos as well gives them that old school flair as well. So fucking filth. Like that sound is so full. Like they just kind of let you bathe in the soundscapes and the groove. They really do. They don't like try to, it's what I mean. They kind of just do things relatively simple. Like they don't try and have something switch up every 4 seconds to like keep someone engaged. They just say, here is a violently heavy, brutal, groovy like moment. Sit in that for a minute and a half, and then we'll hit you with the chorus. Which I think sometimes can be boring, but because, again, the mix and how impactful everything is, I wouldn't have it any other way. Just keep bouncing that off my fucking head, please. It's so ridiculously good. Dun, dun, dun. And also, don't get it twisted as well. I know some people will just say this is like chuggy stuff, but I have been learning the Tales of War on the guitar and just like having fun with that song. And it reminds me a lot of Meshuggah. And trying to play Meshuggah, where yeah, it's a lot of repetitive motion back, you know, back and forth. Like yeah, it's like the same note choices over and over again, but the consistency to be able to hit all of those notes and make every note sound the same across the board whilst also staying at that tempo. And then switching it up now and again, and like the patterns are also kind of alternating as we go. It feels like really like some of Meshuggah's syncopated stuff, although it's like the same patterns over and over again. After a while, you kind of get into this flow state where you can start to make mistakes because you're just doing the same motion over and over again, and your brain can kind of drift away because your hand recognizes that it's the same pattern over and over again. But you still have to stay really locked in because of the intensity of it. That's another thing as well. Buster is so good at incorporating just like moments of dead space. There wasn't as many noticeable moments in this within the riffs and stuff like that, but I said it in the Silent Planet reaction that I did recently where Buster's working with Silent Planet as well. I think it's probably Buster that has a lot to say with the moments of like dead space. It just allows moments to crash harder, especially with his drum mix. It always just hits so hard. The moment in the Tales of War I always go back to is one of the best fucking examples of that, of just like the opening riff with the muted section, and then it just slams, like just so sick. But I'm yapping now, let's keep going. Greed is the purest form of something. I haven't got the lyrics yet. Greed is the purest form of light. I think maybe that would make sense. The visuals as well. So fucking sick. I just want to hear this chorus again. And I want to hear the breakdown. I won't listen to the whole song again. But man, you know what? Hearing this chorus again, that's so fucking sick. that might be my new favorite chorus from these guys, and I've only heard it twice. This is my second time hearing this, and I'm starting to think that this might be the best chorus. It's I remember having this conversation with Metalburb on the Metal Round podcast where I was talking about Orbiculture, and he was saying that there's like a lot of Metallica influence in there, and I was like, what? Because I only heard like the Tales of War and like maybe another song. And I was like, Metallica, what are you talking? Like Buster Otohome and Metallica just aren't even in the same stratosphere. But I get what he means now, and I've heard like one of their older songs as well on a stream recently, and they do have that like Metallica coded chorus. I personally dislike Metallica. I just can't get into their stuff. I'm too modern metal focused with my tastes, so Metallica is just too far gone for me. There's some fun moments, and obviously iconic band, but I just can't do it. Where these guys, they have that old school feel with that Metallica sounding chorus style, but it's the fucking disgusting low end chugs that are just going behind that chorus that makes it so sick. Anyway, I'm yapping a bit. Let's cut to the chase here. Let's go to the solo. That was a cool moment as well. I think it's around here. I think I've frozen my PC. Excellent. The solo again, just kind of more of a vibe setter. Not the most technical, like. But again, it's a nice blending of the two worlds. The old school sound and the new school fucking heaviness, you know? Let's hear this breakdown again. There was like an effect on the vocals for Hydra when he called it out, I think. And then, yeah, that like tremolo effect. Oh, the scene I've just stopped on here is so cool. Wow. Yeah, the vocal effects on that. I feel like, I don't know, is Buster producing these guys or is he just mixing them? I don't know. But it's just subtle details that make things feel very cool. Like just the normal Hydra would have been cool and all, but like giving it like almost like a liquid feel with the word Hydra, I guess, probably makes a little bit more sense. That's maybe what they were going with that. But there's like two vocal layers, maybe even three, that are layered on top of each other, and one has like a like I can't describe the effect. I don't know the effect that they have on it, but it gives it that like liquid feel to it, and almost kind of like electric and robotic. It's kind of weird, but cool choice. And then the tremolo effect that you can hear going on in the background is very Buster. He's doing that a lot in a lot of his music. Like just chopping up the entire mix. It sounds great. Let me just hear it. Oh, that's menacing. Hydra. There's definitely two. Hydra. It sounds robotic. That sounds fucking great. Yeah, Ravada killed it again, man. Ravada fucking killed it. That was so sick. I'm not going to keep listening because I've yapped another fucking 11 minutes onto this. But if you enjoyed the video, guys, please do leave a like on it. If you like these more in-depth breakdowns where we go through the song, we talk about it in a little bit more detail, then, you know, support the channel, subscribe, like the video. And that's it. What do you think of this song? Which is your favorite one so far? I think this might be close between this one and the Tales of War, but every song just has a moment in it that makes me fucking shit myself. So yeah, Orbiculture, man. Can't wait for the new album. It comes out in like 65 days. I'm assuming we'll probably get like one or two more singles. And yeah, that's a big album. That's a massive album. I can't wait for that one. Probably my most anticipated album of the year so far. It's going to be violent. I wonder if there's going to be any singles on it that are like a little bit different, because we've had violent singles non-stop. So maybe there'll be a different single in there. Maybe there'll be a few album tracks that are a little bit more slow and tame, but the way these guys are setting up, I feel like this is just balls to the wall for the entirety of this album. But anyway, guys, I'm done. See you in the next one. Cheers.